Good morning, everybody. I'm going to call this meeting to order. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are in Treaty 1 territory and the traditional homeland of the Métis Nation. My name is Marla Billinghurst. To my left is Mr. Neil Harden, and to my far left is Mr. Marcel Lorendo. The assessor this morning is Mr. Ryan Valderrama, and our recording secretary is Ms. Kelsey Harrison. We will be hearing applications for revision of the assessment roll in accordance with the Municipal Assessment Act. The matters for which revision is requested have been described in each application, and we will limit discussion to those matters. The statements that applicants or the assessor make at this hearing are sworn testimony, and anyone speaking to the matters must be sworn in. Please be advised that comparisons of assessments of properties are not considered evidence of market value by the Board of Revision. The Board of Revision is appointed annually by Council and is independent of it and the City Administration, and makes its decisions on the basis of the evidence provided at this hearing and issues a written order that will be mailed to all parties as soon as possible. Please note that the Board's decisions with respect to an application may be appealed to the Manitoba Municipal Board if the matter pertains to assessed value or classification, or to the Court of Queen's Bench if the matter pertains to the application of exemptions from taxation. Should you wish to appeal, information on how to do so will be included with the Board's order. With respect to the hearing process, I will confirm the matters to be addressed with each applicant following the swearing in. We will then have the assessor's testimony, followed by questions that the applicant may have, and then the applicant's testimony followed by questions. Each side will have an opportunity to summarize if they wish. Once all the evidence about an application has been brought forward, the applicant may leave. The process will repeat for each item on the docket today, and the session will close after all applications have been heard, and the Board will deliberate in private and make its decisions. You will receive the order by registered mail as soon as possible, and as information, all public hearings are live streamed, recorded, and will be part of the public record. There you go.
Do you swear in or affirm?
Swear.
Could you please state your name?
Ryan Valderrama.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you. That's right. Could you please state your name?
Douglas Becker.
And do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you.
All right, the matter on the docket this morning is 320 Sherbrooke Street.
Thank you, Madam Chair.
Please proceed.
The property has a file number of 19-4238. It has a roll number of 13096181500 and located at 320 Sherbrooke Street. We're dealing with the roll year of 2020 using reference date of April 1st, 2018. The assessed value is $20,246,000. It is a nursing home, has 4 to 14 stories, and effective years built of 1964 to 1995. It has a zoning of a multi-family, land area of 106,710 square feet, plan area of 25,130 square feet, and a gross floor area of 268,278 square feet. And I'd like to make a quick recommendation on this one with regard to the valuation, the total value of $19,184,000, based on some corrections that I found out on our cost report. And on page 2 is the zoning map of the subject property. On page 3 are some aerial photos of the subject property. And on page 4 is the land valuation, which is $15.81 per square foot with a net area of 106,710 square feet.
I did shut it off. Sorry.
No, the red is shut off.
There's no. Oh, we had that discussion.
I thought we did this.
And And on page 5 are some land sale comparables, ranging from $20.88 per square foot up to $37.31 per square foot. At the bottom of page 5 is the map of the subject property and the comparable land sales. They're all color coded. And I'd just like to add that this is being used as a nursing home, with the owner of Lions Club of Winnipeg Senior Citizens Home, and that the property is fully occupied by seniors, which is, I think, the current occupancy right now, and it's being used as a nursing home. And that's my presentation, Madam Chair.
Thank you very much. Were you aware of the recommendation?
Yes,
Okay.
we'd like to continue. I thought that Mr. Walder ran the corrected some depreciation that we had discussed,
Right.
but we have another approach as well.
Absolutely, so please go ahead. Do you have questions?
I have no
for-
questions.
No questions? Okay. Mr. Lorenzo?
I have none.
Mr. Harden?
Okay, so was, you use cost approach then with the three separate, as shown on page 4, three separate areas?
Yes, this is before the corrected cost depreciation that I've found on this property, specifically to this property. And I didn't bring the cost report with me. I think I lost it.
Oh,
I thought I had it, but
You don't have what the new depreciation values would be then?
for buildings, none. I didn't bring it with me.
Okay. All right,
But the land valuation is still the same, at $1,687,000.
okay, that was my question.
And this is all, I guess, owner occupied.
It's a nursing home.
Right.
Yeah, being operated by Lions Club of Winnipeg Senior Citizens Home.
Now I have.
Okay, go ahead.
This piece of property, was it always contiguous with this property, or was it, they've owned it a long time, or what's all the sales here?
These are the land sale comparables, sir, on page 5.
Is this a new piece of property that they've acquired though, or is this?
No, the land valuation that I have is our assessment of the land value. And these are model driven, or the $15.81 per square foot is model generated.
Okay. I'm good.
Thank you.
Okay. So I'm just making a note, and then you're up.
Okay, if I could ask the board to turn to page 2, it's just what Mr. Valderrama already said, just another photo of the subject property. We've looked at it in a bit of a different way. Mr. Valderrama and I went over the land sales and the cost approach, and we found that it's just the wrong reference date. I think that was in the cost of the correct depreciation wasn't flowing through
For the buildings.
for the building, so that's been corrected, and we agree with the land. But we've also looked at it as if it was on the market as an apartment block or multifamily. So if I could ask the board to turn to page 6. Now, the property does have income for the housing part, but it also includes food, et cetera. Some of it is government funded, and some of it is funded by the families of the people that are staying there. So what we've done is we went to the CMHC market, and at the bottom of page 6, you'll see there's a little table there, and it's in the Midland area. So for the bachelor units, there's 227. We've used average 2017 rent of $594 per unit. For the 1-bedroom, $716, and for the 2-bedroom, $895. So based on that, we come up with an overall annual income of $1,974,624. Then if you go up around the middle there on number 7, that's where the potential income is. Number 8, we've used a market vacancy rate of 2.6%. And there is parking income in the subject property. We've added for that at $81,776 for effective gross income, $2,007,613. And then we've used expenses at 60.9% for a net operating income of $785,014. We've capped this at 6% for an indicated assessment of $13,084, or $48,821 per suite. And then the top of page 7, we would argue that the cost approach is not taken into the account the economic obsolescence that any purchaser would face given the constraints of the revenue of the property. the economic obsolescence is captured as the difference between the value arrived by the income approach and the cost approach. As such, we rely on the value determined by the income approach. I will tell the board that the same approach was taken in 2018. We weren't successful, and it's pending at the municipal court. I'm open to questions.
Mr. Assessor, do you have a question?
Yes, Madam Chair. You mentioned that there are other sources of revenue. Would it be possible that they are funded by WRHA or Manitoba Health Services, billable insurable services, or?
Yes, some of the funding comes from there, yes.
Okay, and would you agree if the property is fully occupied by seniors alone?
I don't know if they're all seniors, because part of it is for Alzheimer's,
Right.
and so there's a section there, and I don't know what the
So-
age may not be senior.
So basically, it's more for geared towards personal care or nursing home
The
kind of,
elderly or the infirm, yes.
or maybe a convalescent hospital kind of,
Yeah.
in terms of the service.
Yeah, no, I don't disagree with that.
And, okay, and you mentioned that this was valued under income approach by using CMHC rents, which pertains to apartments.
Yes.
Market for apartments, correct?
Yeah.
Just wondering, I just wanted to clarify, why was it on income approach in terms of being valued as an apartment? Is it because it is possibly later down the road, they could convert it into an apartment?
It could be easily converted to housing.
But would it happen? That's the question.
Well, that I don't know.
Yeah,
I
so
can
it's-
only, we were
okay.
just doing it as if it was a fee simple,
Right.
And if somebody looked at the building to buy it, use it as an apartment, this is what it would be worth.
Good, okay. And on page 4, just wondering, highest and best use, it says here the highest and best use of the property is considered to be the continuance of the present use, which is a nursing home or a personal care home, correct?
Yes, that's what it says.
And this is considered as an institutional property?
Yes, it's school tax exempt.
Okay. I just wanted to submit a rebuttal, if I may, Madam Chair. Just quick.
Yeah.
These are quick. It's not, just gonna go through some specific points, not really very long. That's for the applicant, Mr. Becker, and the others are.
Thank you.
So just to direct the attention specifically on page 2, assessment facts from, this is coming from Manitoba government's website. The cost approach on the second bullet, it says, the cost approach is best suited to value special purpose buildings that rarely, if ever, sell in the marketplace and which do not generate rental income to its owners. Examples of properties valued by the cost approach would include large industrial plants, communication towers, and institutional buildings. So basically what I'm trying to prove a point is that this should be under cost methodology in terms of valuation, Madam Chair. And that's just the one. And on page 6 to page 8 are some of the previous financial statements highlighting that it is being funded specifically by a government agency, which makes income approach a little bit subjective in terms of the income or the profitability objective of any investors. There is a demand. We all know that there is a demand for this kind of type of use, and I think the cost methodology, as I'll point it out in my summation, Madam Chair. But I think the cost methodology would be the methodology that should be used to value these kinds of, or these types of properties, and that's my rebuttal. And if anyone has a question, I will be open for questioning on my rebuttal.
Okay, so let's start. You're finished your questioning?
Yes, I'm on the
Okay.
rebuttal now, yes.
Mr. Lorendo, do you have questions? Mr. Becker?
Well, that's probably questions for both of them.
Okay, well, let's start here first.
We're gonna start, but he introduced new evidence, so.
Oh,
Yes.
did I?
Yeah, you
thought
did
I was
with your-
rebutting
with
the
your
cost
model.
or the
So I'll have
income
some
approach.
questions- I'll have some
Absolutely,
questions on it.
absolutely.
Mr. Becker, this is a health institution, is it not?
I guess a portion of it would be.
So would that portion not be totally exempt,
You'd have to prove that it's actually used as a hospital.
funded by WRHA?
But all personal care homes, I think, have received funding from WRHA.
It has a school tax exemption, sir, if I may,
But-
but in,
Well, and I'll come to you on that question in a minute, because the paragraph that you used actually says such as schools and hospitals, which are totally exempt, are they not?
yes, they are, but however, these are just examples that were given, but not limited to. They may extend to personal care homes, which is also assessed as an institutional property.
The section of the act for personal care homes is under 23-1, which says home for the infirmed or elderly.
Mm-hmm.
So that's where these have normally fallen under.
Yes.
And the only portion that I've seen of the ones I've done that is totally exempt is if it's used for worship. Some of them have a designated area for worship purposes. But I haven't seen any that have been total exempt, even though they offer personal, like, they're outlined as a personal care, so they fall under 23-1, to the best of my knowledge. I mean, partial funded by WRHA, but not entirely funded by WRHA.
But it's a nonprofit.
It's a nonprofit, yes.
Yes, I agree with the applicant that it's not profit.
But I think if your family has the means, or the person that's in there has the means, then that, they pay for the lion's share of it.
Well played.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I, actually. We don't go to cost approach very often. I'll leave it. On to you.
Okay, so there's 3 different areas: seniors apartments, which are usually done on the income approach.
Yes, like a 55 plus or whatever, yes.
Yeah, 55 plus homes, usually on income approach.
Yeah.
Senior center, independent living, not exactly sure what, is that sort of care geared to need?
Yes, but not to the point where you have to be hospitalized. Like,
Okay.
there is the independent living section, which is, some of the ones that I know that are done on income are these ones that are now the, I don't know exact name, but they're on Pipeline or on Wellington Crescent. Wellington, I think, is one of them, where you pay a higher amount of rent.
Yeah.
But they include your meals,
Including
et
meals,
cetera,
yeah.
but not personal care.
Yeah, not personal.
Once you
care.
get to a health issue, then you have to move into one of these.
Yeah, so, the personal care home portion is generally done on cost approach.
Normally, yes.
Okay, so we kind of got a mixed bag here of things.
And because they're funded by different sources, we use just the market rents in the area, set by CMHC.
Yeah. Okay, those are my questions.
Okay.
I'm done.
You sure?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I'm sure.
Any questions on the rebuttal evidence?
Not on the rebuttal itself, no.
Okay.
That concludes the matter.
Okay, then no more questions, okay. Thank you very much, we will close this hearing.
Short and sweet.
Thank you, Brian.
Mr. Lorndo, we were quicker than that.
That's it.